Alright everybody, what is going on? We got a new Extreme Z area here in Dokkan Battle. This actually came out like almost a week ago or something now, and I'm just now getting to this. I just haven't, one, been interested, and two, I figured you guys weren't like dying to get this done anyway. But we do have an Extreme Z area here for the GT Hellfighter 17 and then the GT Android 18. So that's what these two stages are for. This is what the core issues are for. Give me a second. So anyway, we got two new stages here. We're going to be going over those. First off, come on, man. First off, I do want to talk about where you actually farm these guys up. So these guys have actually been in the game for a long time, but they actually just got their awakening. So this right here, if you go to like events and then story, it's the first one that pops up right here. Dragon Ball GT Ultimate Android Saga, Hellfighter 17 and Android 18 GT can Dokkan Awaken to transcend the UR limit. That's the characters right here. Again, they just got their awakenings, and the medals drop on their own stage. So that's where you can go ahead and get those farmed up. Again, it's pretty easy. You can farm up the cards and the characters at the same time. I think there is a drop rate bonus. If I go ahead and just click on a random stage here, it doesn't matter which one. There is a drop rate bonus for siblings bond. So if you bring a bunch of LR siblings bond characters, it'll increase your drop rates. And then remember that you also have the Oolong support memory and the Brago's shopping or Bullawent shopping support memory that also increases your drop rate bonus. So be sure to utilize those. Get the characters, get the medals, and get them farmed up. Other than that, they are easy. Also, I do want to talk about some other characters that got some Dokkan Awakenings. I'm going to get showcases out for these guys, but right here, the second story event is the Tournament of Power Androids 17 and 18. They got Dokkan Awakenings. They haven't actually EZA'd yet, though. They just got their awakening. So you can farm up Android 18 on stage 1, her medals on stage 3, and then 17 on stage 6, and his medals on stage 9. And I actually think they take like 10 of each, I think, to awaken them. I don't remember exactly, but I mean, if I just go here, if I just type in like a 1. Alright, so here's Android 18. Let me click on this and see. Yeah, she takes 10 of each medal, and then I believe 17's the same. And then for like the Hellfighter 17, right here, he takes just his, and then I assume the same with Android 18 down here, right here. She takes 10 of hers. So just go hop into those. Pretty easy. Get them farmed up. And then you can hop into the EZA area stage here. That's what we're actually going to go ahead and go over. I just wanted to show that, like, I mean, these are the 4 free-to-play characters. There's also a Krillin that came out. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'll do its own video at some point. But I think it's a Dragon Ball story in here. Sorry, we're getting sidetracked a little bit. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball right here. Yeah, right here. So this SSR Krillin Youth. We also got this story event. Oh my god, there's so many stages. Alright, that'll be its own video at some point. I'll get that out. I mean, this isn't going away anytime soon, so I'll get that out at some point. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the EZA area, see how tough this is, see if there's any reason that people would be having troubles with this one. I doubt it, because I haven't really seen any requests for a guide. I haven't seen anybody talking about these guys, so I highly doubt that these are, like, something people are struggling with here. So this is the available roster of characters that we can bring. Looks like just a bunch of, GT heroes, like Black Star Dragon Ball Saga characters, basically, is who, or well, maybe it's just random GT characters. I don't really know. So as far as who we want to have for our leader here, I'm just going to kind of scroll through these guys and see if there's anything that pops out. Dragon Ball Seeker, Shadow Dragon Saga, Giant 8 Power, Int Type, Int and Physical, Extreme Int, Shadow Dragon Saga, Int Type, Super STR, Tekken STR, All Types Key 3, 30%. That's not too bad, honestly. Tekken STR, GT bosses, AGL and physical, all types. Okay, so here's the character we probably want to use as our leader. Is this guy right down here? This Goku. I'll go ahead and bring him as our leader. We have to bring the 17. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and throw the 18 on there just because. Then we can just throw like some of these other Android units on there. I guess we can throw him on there. Who else? Again, it doesn't matter. We can just bring, like, Cell and Frieza. Sure, we'll bring them. Okay, and then there's the friend that it gives us. Oh, and he's all types 40%, so that's fine. This is another free-to-play character that you can grind up. Most of these characters are just general banner units. Some of these are free-to-play. Like I said, this guy's a free-to-play character that you can grind up. He had his EZA area a while back. I might have a video on the channel for him, but I don't remember, honestly. Because he came out the same time as this STR Rildo, who's also free-to-play. Again, I doubt you guys are having a hard time forming a roster here. These are just general banner units and free-to-play characters. But if you are, let me know. I can give you some tips onto, like, what characters you should bring. But, again, I don't think this is going to be too difficult here. Let's go ahead and hop in. This is the first stage. Of course, we did not get the extra medals to drop. That's just how it goes for me. I always get really unlucky with those extra medal drops. I never seem to be able to get them. So, probably I'm just going to do a run of each stage, farm these guys up the rest of the way off camera. And then I'll just get showcases out for them at some point. So let me know if you guys have used these characters. Let me know if you've had any cord issues. Let me know, just your experience if you've, tried using any of these Android characters. Again, I can't imagine that any of them are, like, really worthwhile. Okay, while the cord's freaking out, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the cards over here. If this ever reconnects, I'll, like, resync it. But, I mean, listen. Well, maybe. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and, I guess we can just take, oh, no, it's gone again. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at 18 here, and see what she is doing, as soon as, give me a second, man. Alright, hopefully, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about it. Alright, so here's what she's doing. Yeah, she's already on her EZA, so this is her EZA. Leader skill doesn't really matter. Super attack seems fine. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn. I mean, at least she gets defense here. And raises superclass allies attack by 35% for 1 turn. Generally, free-to-play characters aren't going to be able to sit in slot 1 where you're actually going to get value out of this. But maybe if you put her in slot 2, you might be able to get a little bit of value out of this. Maybe. But overall, I think this is going to be pretty pointless on her. So, if it was 2 turns, that could be something. But just a 1-turn attack buff is... I mean, first of all, like, the attack isn't really going to help with much. But second of all, if she's not a slot 1 character, you're not really going to get any value out of that. So I mean, that's interesting. That just further supports the, like, theory that Omatsu, or the developers, don't play their game. But, okay, passive skill, attack and defense plus 150% at the start of turn. She gets an extra defense plus 100% and damage reduction of 18%, and all allies defense plus 30% as the first attacker in the turn. These are all start of turn buffs. So, like, none of these are multiplicative. So, essentially, as the first attacker in the turn, she's going to get 250% at the start of turn. But, like, that's not that great. You're also not even going to be able to see this activated. You'll have to learn how to do calcs yourself if you want to know what her true slot 1 defense is. I might have done a calc video for her, maybe. I honestly can't remember. Dude, please, man. I just want to record 1 video today. Is that allowed, Elgato? Please? I paid money for you. I exchanged money in exchange for a service or a product that you would provide me, please. Okay, so then she gets an extra 100% attack and defense. Or, I'm sorry, just an extra 100% defense and additional damage reduction of 18% as the first attacker in the turn for 5 turns from the character's entry. I mean, this isn't going to matter, like, at all. 36% damage reduction, 350% defense on a free-to-play character is just not, like, it's not really going to do anything, unfortunately, in the fights that we have now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If you get use out of her, let me know. And then key plus 2, attack plus 150% chance, medium chance of performing a critical hit for 3 turns after receiving an attack. I mean, like, who cares, man? If this was attack and defense, maybe you could get me on board, but I'm going to get this Android 18 farmed up, and then I'm never going to use her again. I mean, that's what it is. What's crazy is they spent, I mean, Truth has talked about this a lot, but it is true. They spent a lot of dev time on her animations, just to make her, like, really mid. If this was her kit pre-EZA, like, if she hadn't EZA'd yet, and, like, this was her kit, I'd be like, alright, we got something cooking here. But since this is her EZA passive, I'm just like, what's the point? Like, who cares? These are her links. I mean, for the most part, they're just Android links. They threw Cold Judgment on her, I guess, sure. But, I mean, overall, these are just Android links. These are her 200% leaders. Yay. Teams you'll never run. And then these are her best linking partners, or just other Android 18 units. I mean, that makes sense, right? And then there's the court again. Great. I guess let's go ahead and wrap up this first fight here. Again, I haven't really noticed any issues or problems. But let me know if you guys are running into problems with this EZA area. Seems like we got through it pretty quickly. She is STR, so maybe I would shy away from physical characters and you could bring some more AGL characters, but I mean, you guys saw it wasn't that big of a deal. For the most part, I mean, this team isn't totally free to play, but I mean, it's a mix of free to play characters and then just like general banner units, right? So all of these guys should be able, you know, you guys should have these guys with like multiple dupes or rainbowed. Like, it should not be super hard. Let's go ahead and hop into this stage here. I'll just use like one little meat here. Get some stamina back, because I'm probably just going to do these and then I'm going to be done with Dokkan for the day. Maybe I'll hop into quest mode after this. All right, so that's Android 18. Let's go ahead. I guess we can hop into Android 17 now, talk about him. This is annoying that I have to actually click through this. I really wish auto was just unlocked immediately, but whatever. Artificial life forms, whatever. Supreme damage, lowers attack and defense. I mean, that sucks. That's EZA. Yeah, that's easy aid. No defense on super attack effect is always bad, in case you were wondering. It doesn't matter. Like, in 2024, or I guess this guy technically came out in 2023 on JP, regardless. Anything after, like, 2020, we should have defense on our super attack effect. Like, this is just outdated, old, and pointless. Especially because this guy, notably not on GT bosses. He has 3 categories, and that's it. Like, if he was on GT bosses, I could kind of get it, right? Because Omega thrives on, you know, debuffs and stuff like that. So you could, like, take this guy into potentially, like, you know, VB or the new Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku fight on JP, right, for the 9th anniversary. You could take this guy in there and have value on the GT bosses team if he was there. But unfortunately, for some reason, they decided no GT bosses for our boy Android 17 or Hellfighter 17, despite being like a main villain of the arc. Like, I would say Hellfighter 17 was more of a villain than, like, I don't know, like half of the like Shadow Dragons or something, but you know, whatever. I don't make the rules. So his passive, again, attack and defense 150% at the start of turn. Additional defense plus 100% as the second or third attacker in the turn. Again, that's going to be start of turn, so 250% essentially. High chance of dodging, that's pretty good. Additional chance of evading enemy attacks, including super attacks, plus 17% for 3 turns from the character's entry turn. So essentially 2 rotations, as long as you don't float them off, you're going to be able to get, what is that, 67% chance to dodge. And that's pretty good, honestly. Additional attack and defense plus 20%, up to 80% with each attack evaded, including super attacks. That's pretty good. That is going to be a multiplicative buff, but I mean, it is what it is. And then additional attack plus 100% when performing a super attack. Key plus 2 when launches, and additional attacks and immediate chance coming a super attack turn from the 4th turn from the character's entry. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys about this guy. I mean, he just kind of seems like he doesn't have a home. Like, if this guy was on GT bosses, I think you could convince me to get on board with what he's doing here. Debuffing, some dodging. I think you could potentially, like, get me on board with this, but with him not being on GT bosses, I'm just left wondering what his purpose is. So, I mean, could you take this guy into Fusion Zamasu and win? Absolutely. But yeah, I don't know. I like this more than Android 18. Android 18 is a free-to-play character that wants to go in slot 1 and is not super great defensively, whereas this guy right here should be able to hold his own in slot 2 or 3, which is where he's intended to be. So this is fine. I like this more than her. You can see her on the screen right there. But my cursor can't. I can't put my cursor over my screen because I'm not on like the private server. But you guys see the cursor down here. Android 18's right there. You see her right there. Okay. These are his links. Again, he's just Android character. He links with other androids. These are his best linking partners, of course. Just other GT androids, right? And then just androids in general after that. Or who he's going to be linking with. So there we go. I mean, that's them. Nothing too tough going on with their EZA areas. I guess real quick we can talk about these guys since I mentioned them in the video and I'm probably not going to give them their own video. These guys I'm slightly more optimistic about because they haven't actually EZA'd yet. So I have a little bit more hope, I guess, with them. I can hop back in here and just do this stage again. We can let it auto. I think you have to do each stage 6 times, if you're curious, by the way. So, unless you get the extra medals to show up, then that cuts out, like, 1 run. So, Somewhere between 3 and 6 times you'll have to do each stage. But yeah, okay, so attack plus 40%, defense plus 30% per key sphere obtained. I mean, whatever. Sibling spawn category, key plus 1, attack plus 30% when there's an ally's name includes Android 18, and attacks effective against all types if that ally is attacking the same turn, whatever. Additional attack plus 70% when performing a super attack. Launches additional attack as a high chance of becoming a super attack when the enemy is stunned. Great chance of sealing enemy super attacks for 2 turns. Okay. I mean, he's got defense raised for 1 turn. He's got attack lowering. After an EZA, this could be interesting. He'd need, like, Rainbow Orb changing or something, though. Anytime you're a nuker, you need to be, like, Rainbow Orb changing or have, like, a very good Rainbow Orb changer near you at all times. Notice I said Rainbow, not a type Orb changer, so, I mean, we'll see. I mean, this guy could EZA and become pretty good, but right now, I'm not, like, super impressed by this. I mean, this, you know, whatever. 1 key and 30% attack. I assume Android 18 gives defense then, and, like, she's supposed to be the defense side of this, and if you use them together, then they're, like, supporting each other, but, nothing really, like, there's no, like, abilities here, right? We saw on that Android 17, the, Hellfighter one, right, that I kind of liked him because he had, like, some dodge. Like, he has some abilities going on, you know? Alright, so this guy is just, like, nothing. Like, this is just, like, standard passive. Like, they put 0 thought into this. Best linking partners are these guys, of course, and then those are his 200% leaders. I mean, that makes sense. At least they have a modern leader, right? Like, compared to these two, I guess. And then Android 18, I assume she's just, like, the mirror opposite here. Yeah, 30%, 40%. I mean, she gets more defense per key sphere. That's good. Siblings bond, yeah, key plus 1, 30% when there's an ally's name includes 17. And then guards if that ally is in the same turn. Alright, man, like... Dude, can we stop pretending, ever since the first anniversary, Dokkan has pretended that guard and super effective against all types are, like, equal abilities. Can we stop? Can we stop pretending that those are at all equal abilities? And then this is the same. Attacks effective against all types when the enemy's super... What? Hang on. No, no. She doesn't get defense on super. Okay, these guys kind of suck right now. We'll see. I mean, they haven't EZA'd yet. That's good. But, like, come on. Come on. This is interesting, though. This is interesting right here. But, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so I guess get them farmed up. Get these guys farmed up. Get this EZA area done. Oof, looks like she does hit kind of hard. So I guess watch your back. Make sure your characters are link leveled and, you know, EZA'd if they can be EZA'd. If you can put orbs into them, put orbs into them, stuff like that, you know. That's always the key with these EZA areas is just making sure that your units are farmed up and ready to go, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure people hop in here and get this stuff done with, like, 55% units and, like, shambles of a team all the time, but... You know, the better your units are, the easier events are going to be, right? And most of these characters that you can bring in here are free to play, so there's no excuse why you can't just have these guys grinded up. But let me know what you guys think about these androids. Which free-to-play one do you think is the best? Are you guys excited for me to do showcases on any of these guys, or do you even care? Let me know, and I'll catch you guys next time.